Let's start by understanding how was your childhood like? Can you share some?
Cricket, hockey, football, squash, badminton, tennis.
And is there anything in particular that you've learned outside and you would want to come and implement back in Sindh, let's say, of
Go
learning?
to any part of Pakistan, you go to any part of the world, there's things to learn. Always things to learn.
All right.
Yeah, apart from that, I enjoy traveling. I've been to a lot of places in the world.
What is one thing about Sindhi culture which you think resonates most deeply with you?
Sindhi society is very inclusive.
If you are not in politics, what profession would you pursue?
Be in teaching,
Oh, that's really nice. Education,
technology,
Pakistan.
my home.
What advice would you give to a higher education institute like Sukkur IBA University?
That hunger for knowledge has to be there throughout your life.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Sukkur IBA University podcast. We call it the Campus Chronicles. My name is Syed Kazmi. I'm an assistant professor here at Sukkur IBA. This podcast is about discovering the human side of great leaders that we have here in Pakistan and abroad. We want to understand their stories, their dreams, passion beyond their titles. Today, we are very much honored to have with us a visionary leader who has been at the forefront of Sindh, a man who have worked and have impacted countless lives across the province and in the country. Chief Minister Sindh, Syed Murad Shah. Assalamu alaikum, sir. Thank you for taking time out.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, sir. You have a remarkable career in terms of politics. You have done incredible initiatives in the government, led the government of Sindh to different heights. But today we are taking a step back. We want to meet the Murad Ali Shah not as a political leader, but as a father, as a son, as a brother, as a friend. Let's start by understanding how was your childhood like? Can you share some memories of it?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. First of all, thank you for having me here.
Thank you, sir.
My childhood, I'm fortunate that Allah Almighty has given me a very good life till now, and I'm grateful for it. As a child, I was born in Karachi. My parents had recently moved to Karachi. My father had recently moved after his marriage. He was an advocate of the High Court of Sindh. He gave all my siblings, all his children, the best of education. So I started off my first year, the kindergarten, I studied in Hyderabad, Sindh Ventures. When I came to Karachi, I went to a private school called Brooklyn Private School. And from then on, I did my matriculation from St. Patrick's High School, went on to do my intermediate at DJ Government Science College, and then my engineering degree from NED University. So as I said, I was very fortunate as a child. I was studious. At the same time, I played all kinds of games. So I've been a sportsman. I've played whatever game you can think of.
Oh, that's nice.
Cricket, hockey, football, squash, badminton, tennis. So I've had a very good childhood.
Excellent. From your education, Hyderabad to Karachi, and then you went on pursuing your master's at Stanford, as I recall, structural engineer, and then a degree related to management economics. What drove you to choose this path? The movement.
I always wanted. I did not always want to become an engineer. I wanted to become an Air Force pilot.
Oh, that's really nice.
Fly planes. Unfortunately, I never went in that direction. As a child, I wanted to be a pilot.
A pilot?
I never tried to become a pilot, as things would have it. I was very bad at drawing.
Okay.
So medicine was out because you had to draw a lot.
Draw the figures along the side, yeah.
And in engineering, it's more calculated drawing with a scale and with instruments, so it was easier. So I chose engineering. I was good at mathematics, so I chose engineering. I went to study as a civil engineer, and I liked what I was doing. I still love my school days, my college days, my university days. I learned a lot at all the levels. I'm indebted to my teachers, may it be in the school, college, or the universities. And once I got into ND University, I got really interested in engineering education. After graduating, I wanted to do a master's. I had an interest in structural engineering, so I got admission at Stanford. I went over and did my master's at Stanford and came back immediately. I did not work there at all. And I came back and I joined. I was already in the government department. I was working for the Water and Power Development Authority. 2 or 3 years, actually longer than that. About 5 years after working as an engineer, not that I didn't like the job, but I thought I needed to get more training in economics and in finance. So I opted for a second degree. There again, the department at Stanford was called Engineering Economic Systems. Now the name is changed to Management Science and Engineering. So I applied for that course. I got in, and I did a second master's. And what I did there was focused or specialized in finance. And from then on, I came back to Pakistan. I actually got an opportunity while I was there at a bank, and they asked me whether I would be interested in working in Pakistan. I said, I'd love to do that. So I came back to Pakistan, and I started working for Citibank in Karachi. From there, I went to Citibank in London. Then I moved to investment bank in the Gulf, in Kuwait, Gulf Investment Corporation. So moved back to the US for 2 years, and then I came.
That's very nice, fascinating.
So I've been all over the place.
When you were at Stanford, roughly you would be in your early 20s or late 20s. How was life like in Stanford?
I was in my early 20s the first time round. I went there in 86. So I was 23, 24 years old at that time, mid-20s. And it was an experience which obviously shaped me. The good thing about these high-pressure schools, and I'm sure IBA is the same, is they put you into so much pressure that they bring the best out of you.
Yeah, that's right.
And
totally
that is what happened at Stanford. I remember before going there, when I was studying at NED, remember a few nights where I had to be up all night at NED University trying to study. But at Stanford, I don't remember a night where I wasn't up all night preparing for work. And a few hours of sleep that you used to get you would cherish that. So they really pressurize you into bringing the best out of you. And that experience has helped me till now.
Excellent, really nice. So, I mean, you went through a routine where you were continuously pushed beyond the limits. Now, coming back, now serving as the chief minister, I mean, it's fairly reasonable to assume that you'll be having a lot on your plate. Professionally, you keep yourself busy. Do you have a favorite me time? I mean, where is in all this? Do you take time out for yourself? What's your me time look like?
Absolutely. I wake up early, and I normally, except obviously they know how to get in touch with me after office hours, but I try not to work after office hours. For me is about 7 p.m. Not to work after 7 p.m.
That's right.
Except obviously there are days where you have to put in late nights, but I take time out. Which is not odd for politicians here. I normally go to sleep by 11 p.m.
That's really nice.
And midnight is my actual limit.
So how do you, I mean, I assume you have a bigger family. I assume 6 or 7 siblings from what I checked. You yourself have kids?
Yeah, I've got 6 siblings. I've got 2 kids.
Do you spend time with your family? How does family time look like?
Not enough.
Not enough.
Not enough. I'd like to spend more time with the family, and obviously the family is not happy. Again, when I was working, I worked in the engineering sector. I worked for a bank for a very long time. The best time I had with my family was when I was working in the Middle East in Kuwait. Because there, the office hours were such that you'd start at 7 and you'd be done by 3 p.m. So you'd have the evening
ample time.
except for when I was traveling on business, I'd spend time with my family.
Very
So
nice.
that was the best time I had with my family. But here in politics, it becomes difficult. Though I have, what I do is, even if when I come home after my work at 7 p.m., the kids have grown up, so they're busy with their own things.
Yeah.
I miss
Yeah.
that family time.
So, do you have a family tradition? You know, in a lot of families, on Eid day they would all meet up, or every week you would have a family dinner, invite everybody. Is there a tradition in your family
There
that
is
you
a
uphold?
tradition, but how it works in our families, when my father was there, what happens is the first day of Eid, after praying, either we pray in go to our village and have a Eid namaz there, or if even when he was, he used to pray in Karachi and then immediately go to the village and spend the first day of Eid there. So that's what I try and continue to do. And the second day, it's family day where the entire family gets together at one of the siblings' house, and mostly it's my house, being the eldest son. And they come over, and again, my siblings are only 3 are in Pakistan, the others are
That's the
all
number, right?
so 3 or 4 in Pakistan. So that we can't get together as often as we want to.
All right, that makes sense. You travel a lot, of course, because of your job, because of your education, and you've been to many countries. When you travel outside Pakistan, what are some of the things that you may have learned through your travel? And is there anything in particular that you've learned outside and you would want to come and implement back in Sindh, let's say, of large?
It's a learning experience. It's not only going outside. You go anywhere. You go to a village in Pakistan. You go to any part of Pakistan. You go to any part of the world. There's things to learn.
No, that's
Always things to learn. There are things to learn in terms of what one ought to do and what one should not be doing.
Yeah.
So again, if you talk about one thing that is, I believe, missing in our country is the discipline that I've seen in some of the, not all, some of the countries. For example, I try and always be on time for all my appointments, and I guess I'm about 90% successful, which is a very high success rate for Pakistan. But this is one thing. So discipline, punctuality is something that we need to learn from others.
That's really nice. Do you have favorite place? I mean, let's start with internationally. Outside Pakistan, is there a place you really love to go?
I'm biased towards
California.
California. I lived there, so I'm biased towards California, towards the Bay Area, the San Francisco area.
All right.
But apart from that, I enjoy traveling. I've been to a lot of places in the world, and I used to travel a lot more when I was not in politics.
Yeah.
Obviously, with the job description that I have, doesn't give me a lot of free time to get out and explore.
Do you have a favorite place then in Pakistan or in Sindh?
I like to go to my village whenever I want to.
That's
My
right.
favorite places there. One other thing that one should do, and I've tried that a few times. I can't do that anymore. I'm not that young anymore. Wherever you go, the best thing to do is go and get lost.
Yeah.
And that is how you can explore a place. If you take a guided tour, or if you know what you're doing, you're never going to learn about that place.
Yeah.
So the best thing to do is just get on any public transport and just stop anywhere. And again, it might be dangerous because not all places in the world are safe, but then at a younger age, you're more adventurous and you try to do these things. And that's how I've learned a lot of things in life.
Amazing. That's really fascinating. So coming back to Sindh and the culture of Sindh, what is one thing about Sindhi culture which you think resonates most deeply with you?
Sindh is a very pluralistic society. It's an inclusive society, and I think that is one thing. And I've been to a lot of Western countries. I don't think anything would match that. You go to any place, and I've experienced that. Friends telling me when I was in school, I had a friend who fortunately passed away, and he had this flair, and I'm talking about when he was like 12 to 15 years old. He would just go out to any part of Pakistan and go to any town, any village, and make himself a guest there. And what he told me was that Sindh is the only place in Pakistan where, and he actually went to a place near my village, and he stayed with them for a week.
Oh, that's nice.
So the Sindhi society is very inclusive, it's very hospitable, and unfortunately, some values have changed over years. But despite that, I still believe that it's we've got acceptability of all kinds of people, all kinds of religions in the province of Sindh. So that is what strikes in.
Excellent.
That's the uniqueness that we have.
Excellent. Now, we enter into, let's say, a fun segment. I would shoot out some questions at you. Let's see.
I'm not very good at
You're not good at rapid fire. Let's give it a try. Let's say tea or coffee?
Tea.
One food that you cannot resist?
Can't resist any kind of.
Okay.
I like all kinds of foods.
If you were not in politics, what profession would you pursue?
First, not in politics, I'd probably be in teaching.
Oh, that's really nice.
Because I'd like
Makes me
teaching.
happy.
I used to actually teach also when I was in my university, and later on at Stanford, I was a teaching assistant, and I used to love taking classes.
Interesting. That's really
So I would
nice.
probably be in teaching. I'm not sure. And
All right.
so before entering into politics, I worked as an engineer. I worked as a banker. But if I wasn't doing all these things, I would probably be teaching.
There's a lot that we don't know about you. I mean, is there anything about your personality you think people may not have understood it correctly, or this is something they should know about me?
Well, I think I'm very happy with what
The way things are going. All right, let's go with this. What comes to your mind when you hear these words? Sindh,
My home,
love,
family,
happiness,
the world.
life. Come on, don't overthink.
No, I'm not. Life, this.
Okay, let's go with it. Family,
Family is love.
no. Education,
Technology,
Pakistan.
my home.
Wonderful. Now, this is a hypothetical scenario. Now, I know this is really difficult for you to conceive given your position, but if you had a one day completely free of work, how would you want to spend it?
I've got many days free of working.
Okay,
that's
that's
really
really
all
nice.
the time. I try and take time out. But there's so much to do. So it's not a free day at all. Even if I want to not do anything, sometimes one feels that tomorrow I just sleep. I can't do that. I have to find things to do. With the advent of computers and internet, I think you can't have free time at all. You do find something interesting to do. So, as I said, though I'm not overly busy, as people might think, I do get time for myself, and I do explore, and that is one of the reasons that I've been able to bring in new ideas into governance in this province. And you can only do that if you get out of the rut and you, as they say, think out of the box and try and get some solutions of problems that you're facing.
Wonderful. Since we are on the topic, the last two questions, then we end the conversation. I mean, you have served in the capacity for longer period of time. What's your biggest dream for the future of Sindh? How do you see things coming to life?
One area which I'm not too happy about is our future, our youth, proper educational facilities. Though we've made some advancements in higher education, but our primary level education, and that is the base. One thing that I'd like to do in whatever time I have is try and improve the primary education system, because that is where we're going to have a growth. And when I go into my village, or for that matter any other area, I see the huge population youth that we have. It scares me sometimes that we are not doing enough for them. So
we have partnered with Government of Sindh as Sukkur IBA University. We have a program called the Sindh Talent Hunt program, where you and your government have supported quite a lot. You inaugurated today's distribute certificate in PITP, which is another initiative, and there are many more. What advice would you give to a higher education institute like Sukkur IBA University going forward, to go in hand with your vision?
Institutions like Sukkur IBA are our sort of flagship institutions, if you call it that. What we need to do is, and Sukkur IBA is already doing that. You have campuses all over the place, and all over Sindh. We'd like to increase that again with government support, and try and provide good education to. And this all started in the 90s when we needed a higher education, state-of-the-art education institute in Upper Sindh, and Sukkur was chosen, and Sukkur IB came into place. Now we need institutes like this all over Sindh. So open more campuses. Secondly, go into more productive kind of education where the students, once they graduate, find productive opportunities, good economic opportunities to sort of take care of themselves, and families, and this province and this country.
As we close this, what is that one message you would like to share with our students, especially with our students at Sukkur IBA University?
I've seen very bright students here, and they've done well for themselves, and they are a source of inspiration for others. What I would, tell them is never. For example, I tell you about myself. I never get tired of learning, and I don't think I know enough yet. So that hunger for knowledge has to be there throughout your life, from cradle to grave, as they say, you learn, and that is what you should be doing. And secondly, don't keep that knowledge to yourself.
Excellent.
Share that knowledge. The more you share, the more you're going to learn. Because you not only learn from your teachers, you learn from your peers, you learn from people who have not been that fortunate in getting a good education. And I've learned all my life.
Thank you, sir.
That is the message that I'll give to the
Thank you. Excellent advice. Thank you for taking the time out.
Thank you
for coming to us. It's been a privilege having Chief Minister Syed Murad Shah here with us. We hope this conversation would inspire our viewers, our listener. Until next time, stay curious, keep growing. Thank you very much. Ciao, ciao.